Okay, I had the hardest time getting ready to film today. I don't know why this whole situation has been so stressful. I did my makeup differently. Every day I'm like experimenting a little different with my makeup, trying different things. I really just wanted an overall like darker look. I've always wanted that for my makeup, like always, but I always thought my facial features it didn't complement them at all and that it looked weird on me. So I never normally put this on my face. And anytime I do more dramatic, darker looks like this, all I could really see is the makeup. Like, I look at it in the mirror and I just see the layers of makeup. I don't really see the like finished look, and it makes me really insecure to wear it, and I normally just take it off. But trying different things, and it's already late tonight and I want to start editing this, so I don't have time to scrub my face off and restart. So I'm just doing it and hoping that when I look back on it, I'll actually see the makeup look as a whole instead of just what I see right now. That was one part that was already taking up time. Then I found my camera, put the memory card in, lost my camera, had to look all over for it, don't know where it went. My pants ripped, but I'm still gonna wear them because you can't see them anyway, so it's fine. They ripped down the back. That kind of sucks because I really like these pants. They're parachute pants, they're really comfy, but they ripped right in the one spot where I can't wear them now, but it's fine. For the video, I'll wear them. Then my nails fell off. So there's a lot going on, but I also can't find my other light, so we're just doing one light. It's kind of dark in here for now, but it's fine. Today we are moving on with part 3 of the tank rebuild series. I wanted to put another video out in between these two because I figured it would be a little bit of a gap in between posting and I want to keep posting consistently, but it ended up just taking a lot of time to do this next part. There was multiple days of going to the store and getting the items and getting the creatures and letting them settle in and making sure they do well, and all of the little spot cleans that I did along the way and getting new items. And I was still working on the tank like every few days doing water changes, and I just didn't get the time to film the other video I wanted to film. So we're going straight into part 3. Next time there won't be such a big gap in between today's video and the next video. I'll just put something out in between this and the next part of the build series, so there'll be something. But today we are Today we are doing part 3 of the tank series, and I speculated in my last video that the next thing I would be doing is adding a quarantine tank, but we're not doing that today. It is a priority. I really want to get it done ASAP, but I did get more inverts for my cleanup crew, along with some new filtration media and things like that. It ended up being all of my money that I could comfortably spend this month, because I'm also looking to move out like before the end of this year, so I need my money for that. And I'm also gonna have to spend money to get my tank moved to the new place, and there's a lot of expenses coming up, so we're doing this at the speed that my wallet allows. Today's video, we are adding new inverts into the tank and doing another basic water change. That's part of it. It's gonna keep being part of it. And we're gonna be adding some new filtration media into it. It's mainly just introducing some new inverts to be part of the cleanup crew. And we're gonna start murdering some aiptasia. So if you don't know what that is, that probably sounds really bad, but I promise it's for the greater good. They need to die, and I will be the one killing them, and I feel bad. They're a type of anemone. They're a living creature, but I gotta kill them. So, and that's just one of the multiple things that I'm going to need to kill. These guys are invasive and they will take over my whole tank, and they are not good. They're not good. On top of that, I have bristle worms in there and some bristle sea stars, but I really don't want to kill the starfish. I really don't. The bristle worms hurt. The bristle worms hurt and bite me every time I touch any rock in that tank, so I'll feel a little more comfortable killing them. But the starfish are cute, even if they're everywhere. They're everywhere. We're gonna be killing the bristle worms too eventually. I do already have a trap that I bought for them, and it's just gonna be a trap with food in it that they go inside, and then I lock them inside and throw them out. But not today. Today we're just doing the aiptasia. So that's the plan. Kill some things, clean some things, bring in some new things. That's it.
All right, day 1. First thing I did was go to the aquarium store and start looking around for more inverts for my tank's cleanup crew. A cleanup crew is basically just a bunch of inverts that help take care of the nitrates, the nitrites, and the ammonia in your tank by going around in the sand and through the rocks and eating all the little bits of fish food that the fish don't get. They also eat the algae and the detritus. Basically, each invert has a different role. They eat different types of waste, and all together they help keep the tank tank clean. So I mainly got snails and crabs. That's what I was looking for, and 2 peppermint shrimp. That's what we're starting with. It was a low stock day at the aquarium store, so they didn't have as many as I wanted. I ended up coming home with an anemone, a bunch of turbo snails, literally 1 red hermit crab that they put in a bag separate from the other hermit crabs, which really made me laugh. And we got 2 peppermint shrimp, and I got a decorator crab, and then the blue-legged hermit crabs are in another bag. The decorator crab really isn't part of a cleanup crew. I just thought he was funny. I wanted the anemone for my clownfish. I wanted the decorator crab because it was cute. Here goes the 1 single little crab into the tank, and next comes all the turbo snails. There are a few inverts that need to acclimate a little more to the water, but these guys just needed to get the temperature from the tank even with the temperature in their bag, and then they could just be let in. Everyone else has to sit a little longer, but these guys, they went right in. And then for the more sensitive inverts, I was going to acclimate them more to my water by slowly pouring water from my tank into their bag. Most of them don't really need this whole process. Once the temperature is the same in their bag, you could really just let them out in your tank. But for my shrimp and my anemone and my decorator crab, I just wanted to be a little more careful. I turned the lights off in between adding the water into their bag because they're sitting right under the tank light and I don't want them to overheat. But after doing this process for about an hour, I come back and I let them all in. So now we're gonna start placing everyone into the tank and getting everyone situated. I also accidentally deleted the clip of me putting all of the hermit crabs into the tank. The rest, other than that just 1 that I showed, but the other bag of hermit crabs all went in too. Now that the shrimp are in, I'm gonna put my decorator crab in. You can really see as he walks off of my hand here and goes into the tank how easily he blends in with these rocks. Right now he's on top of them and it's already kind of hard to tell he's there, but once he's actually in the rocks, it's going to be a lot harder to see him until he's comfortable enough to come out and really hang out off of the rocks. So we'll see him eventually, but for now he's in hiding. Next, I secure my anemone that came with a little rock that it was attached to into the tank, and you could start to see it open up. Shortly after this, when I looked back, I could not find where my anemone went, but when I was looking back at this footage, I realized that while I was wiping down the glass, I actually caught the anemone moving. They just detached from the rock that they arrived with and kind of free fell until they found a spot they liked better. But since I didn't see this as it was happening, for a while I had no idea where the anemone went. I did find it eventually and I'm pointing at it here, but it's funny that I actually caught it on camera. A casual quick pause to reassure Nemo because he's terrified of me interacting with my tank, and then we're back to work. And this right here is a rock completely covered in Aiptasia anemones, and they're what we're tackling next. And by tackling, I mean murder. So here's just an overview of some of the Aiptasia that is visible from the front of my tank. They're everywhere, and they're only going to continue to take over my tank if I don't stop it now. So I'm going to be going through with what is essentially a poison for them and injecting it straight into their mouths, forcing them to eat poison. It's a little brutal. We're doing what we gotta do here, okay? I'm sorry. They take over the entire tank. The way they get introduced into a tank is by bringing some rock or a coral or whatever into your tank that has just even 1 little Aiptasia on it, and they will take over. I do end up using a needle in this to inject the Aiptasia with the poison. I just found it the easiest with my shaky hands. Get it in there and make sure they eat it, because it could be hard to do. They do try to retract and get away from you when you do this, so you have to be quick about it. I have really shaky hands. This is just a more precise way to do it for me. So just letting you guys know that's going to be in here in case you don't like them. If you don't want to look, I will tell you guys when it's over with, and then you can look back, or you could skip to this marker. I'm sorry. Okay, switching to the needle now. It's way harder to get the smaller ones when I don't have such a precise thin needle like this. So I was hoping this would help me get into the mouths of the smaller ones. It's still pretty hard with my shaky hands though, either way. But even without the shaky hands, you normally have to do more than 1 day of this because they start hiding from you pretty quick. Also, the substance I'm using is very chalky and thick, so it was really hard to get it to pass through the needle. I made it work. It got through, but it does get get clogged really easily, so I see why people might not use a needle with this type of aiptasia killer, but I still gave it my best shot, and overall, I do think it helped me with the smaller ones. Okay, needle's gone now, and it was the day my local aquarium store restocked, so this day I got 4 emerald crabs. While emerald crabs will eat any kind of detritus, they do target bubble algae, which is another thing I had in my tank. These guys are gonna eat it, so I did the same thing here, acclimated them, and then let them in. They were really funny. When I was getting them into the tank, they kept trying to pinch me. They cannot hurt me, they are tiny, but it was really funny to see them try. I was trying to gently place them all across the tank, but this one slipped out of my hands and just fell, but he was fine. He stuck the landing. This one was trying to act tough, waving his claws everywhere. It didn't work. This one found a little hole that he felt safe in. He just tunneled into it and stayed there for many hours. Eventually, they all got to work. You can see in these videos, they are just non-stop stuffing their face all over the tank. I thought I was going to catch this one on film eating the bubble algae, but instead he holds onto the bubble algae as a grip to get to the other side of the rock to keep eating stuff in the rock. But he does eventually eat the bubble algae, because I have a photo of that same rock now, and there is significantly less on there. So he did do his job eventually. You could see this one, even as he's in his little hole, he's flailing his little arms around trying to find whatever food he can. You could also see the little hermits are starting to climb the walls, climb the rocks. You can see the little anemone here is grabbing some food. She'll bring that into her mouth and eat it. I didn't get that part on film. The clownfish does come and check on the anemone, but she's not hosting it yet. I partially think because it's so small, but I do hope she will recognize it as something she could host pretty soon. The mushrooms are doing great. They're doing wonderful. All of the crabs are working very hard. The shrimp, they're existing. Peppermint shrimp eat aiptasia, so I'm hoping they'll find the smaller ones and take care of them. So everyone's doing great. All of the emerald crabs are working super hard, except one. This one right here, he had other plans in store other than just eating. He continually would scale the walls, fall, climb on top of snails, flail his little claws aimlessly into the sky. I don't know what he's trying to grab. There's nothing there. He eventually ran a straight line across the front of my tank until he encountered my mushroom corals. Then he seemed like he had no idea what to do. He could not figure out how to get around them. I cannot emphasize enough how long I sat there filming this crab trying to get around these corals. He could not figure it out. Then one of my fish got too close, so he flung out his little claw to let the fish know that he is super tough. And he was just really amusing to watch. He was not doing his job at all.
Okay, it's been a few days since I used my first round of aiptasia killer. I wanted to say Aiptasia X because that's the name of one of the types of products that is commonly used for this, but I tried to order that expecting it to be like $15 and it was like $60 or like $70. I don't know what was going on. So I went to a store in person to buy it and they told me that they've also been having an impossible time getting it in stock. Their suppliers don't have it. So I don't know. I got another product I've never used before. That's the one we're doing today. I think it worked better than Aiptasia X, judging by my first few looks across the tank. So we're doing round 2 today of going through and wiping the rest of them out. So here's the rock that was absolutely covered in them. Like the whole thing was just Aiptasia. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see there are still some babies, like right there and right there next to it. One in the middle, it's kind of hard to see, but there's 4 really visible ones on the rock and one in the grass, right in the grass? One in the sand right here, which is probably connected to the rock underneath the sand. I don't really know Aiptasia to just sit in the sand like that. And then over here we had one that noped out the second I got to this rock. It hid very well. I couldn't get to its mouth. So it is massive and very much alive. And then it has like a medium-sized one next to it and I think a baby underneath it. So we'll go ahead and massacre that family. Here's something completely unrelated. Here is a snail riding on top of another snail. I don't really know what he's doing. He's lazy, but he still wants to move, I guess, so he's just hitching a ride. All of the crabs are doing great. We have another Aiptasia right there to kill. I feel so bad, man. But anyway, let's focus on killing these guys. I'm sorry. They're going to the anemone heaven, the rainbow bridge for anemones. Also, is that coral upside down? I think he's upside down. I'm gonna help him.
Helping this coral took stupidly long, but I'm gonna let you guys know again right now. Another needle warning. I'll let you guys know when the needle goes away, but if you want to skip it entirely, here's the timestamp you can skip to. All right, if you were listening, needles are gone now. No more needles. Let's get into the water change now. After killing all those aiptasia, now it's time for a water change. I do think there are still a handful of them left. There is still one big one left in the corner. I still have not killed that one. I've hit it twice now. It just must not be hitting right. I don't know, but we're doing a water change now. You guys have already seen this multiple times, so you know the gist of it. I don't want this video to go too long, so I don't show myself testing the water in this video, but we'll start tracking it in the following video. That's been something I've been meaning to do. I dose the water with some water conditioner, some good bacteria, and a supplement that helps with the calcium and the alkalinity. This is something that you'll really be able to see the impact of when we are testing the water and looking at all of the parameters of it. Then you'll be able to directly see how dosing the tank helps with those levels and how cleaning the tank is helping adjust some of those levels too. I do feel like this video has been going on for a while, so all I did was put the same filtration pads that I used last time. I just replaced them, but I do have some new filtration media that we can introduce in the next video. This is me adding the calcium supplement to the tank, but this is where we're going to leave it for this video. I just felt like it went on for a long time with the inverts and stuff. But yeah, we're making progress. It's slow, but you know, we're getting there. The color is coming back in the tank. It's not looking as dull. Now we're adding more inverts, getting rid of some of the pests. After that, I feel like we could really start focusing on the water parameters and getting them to a good place. So then we can start introducing more fish and all of that. First a quarantine tank though. We will get there. All in due time, but yeah.
Okay, so that was the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, some of these videos won't have as much to do in each of them. It kind of just goes at the rate that my wallet allows me to go at. So that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm excited to continue to get back more into this. Like I said, I'm looking to move out soon, which is crazy because I've been stuck here since 2019. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So there's a lot I also couldn't do without the people who watch this. So I appreciate it so much, and the continued support after everything means so much to me. Yeah, just thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.